Hey dive travellers, today we're back in Indonesia with the best of Bali's magical diving. So recently we decided to revisit Bali and give it a deeper look. And trust me, it's way more than just a pit stop. Whether you're a salty pro, newbie, or normally just passing through en route elsewhere, you'll definitely find some diving to love in Bali. I review the legendary USAT Liberty wreck and dreamy Manta Point, and later I hit some hidden gems you won't want to miss. With essential travel and budget tips, this is the go-to guide to getting the best diving Bali has to offer. Bali lies in the heart of Indonesia between the islands of Java and Lombok. Known for its rich Hindu Buddhist culture and stunning landscapes, it's a major tourist destination, offering everything from world-class surfing to tranquil yoga retreats. But for many divers, Bali is either a place to learn or just a stopover on the way to more renowned hotspots like Komodo or Raja Ampat. Today we'll show you why Bali deserves a spot on every diver's list, and we'll start with the famous USAT Liberty wreck and head over to Nusa Penida and Nusa Lembongan. And just when you think you've seen it all, we'll uncover some less well-known gems that most divers miss. We'll cover the logistics later, but first up is Bali's most famous wreck dive, the USAT Liberty. This 120 metre long World War II military cargo ship, torpedoed by the Japanese in 1942, now rests just a stone's throw from the shore in Tulamben. The wreck is covered with vibrant hard and soft corals and is frequently teeming with marine life. Massive schools of surgeonfish, snappers, fusiliers and sergeant majors, alongside hawksbill turtles, garden eels, morays, barracuda and sweetlips, even the occasional reef shark. For macro lovers, you can spot seahorses, nudibranches and plenty of other small critters. Best of all, it's a shore dive, so you can literally walk right in and start exploring within minutes. Sitting in shallow waters from 5 to 30 metres deep, it's perfect for both beginners and experienced divers. The wreck is now quite collapsed, and it looks less ship-like as time passes. As with many great experiences, there's a catch. During the day, the wreck gets very crowded, and many divers leave not having seen the dive at its best. The big schools of the larger fish tend to scatter when groups of newly certified divers descend with the first 8 AM dives. Don't get me wrong, it's still a fantastic experience for beginners, but if you're a photographer, videographer, or just prefer some peace and quiet, my advice is to dive early in the morning. We asked our guide to take us at 7 AM before the crowds arrived, and were rewarded with an incredible dive that now ranks in my top 3 wreck dives worldwide. One last word of warning, the shoreline's rocky, so if you're carrying photo or video gear, you'll want sturdy booties and good balance. This is an incredible dive and absolutely worth the effort if you get there early. Check out our summary ratings and stay tuned for a look at one of Bali's best kept secrets coming up next. 2 kilometres along the coast from the USAT Liberty is this near secret gem of a dive, Kubu Reef. Just check out this footage of the huge schools of fish. I was completely spoiled on this dive. Known locally for its vibrant coral gardens and abundant marine life, it's often paired with the nearby Boga wreck. Whilst the wreck is quiet, it also has less marine life but still offers an enjoyable, peaceful dive and is easily explored. Together they make the perfect double dive, the serene wreck followed by fish soup on the lively reef. Keep your eyes peeled for midnight snappers, fusiliers, golden rabbitfish and hunting blue trevally amongst the pristine sponges and coral seeding frames. Watch out too for the occasional turtle cruising through the stunning hard and soft coral formations. Kubu's beauty lies in its tranquility, much less crowded than Bali's famous site. It's a can't miss dive, perfect for photographers and those seeking a much more relaxed dive experience. Next we're heading to the stunning islands of Nusa Penida and Nusa Lembongan, just a short 45-minute ride by fast boat from Bali's Sana harbour. These islands are home to some of Indonesia's most breathtaking dive sites. Before we uncover those special spots, we'll start with a quick look at two of Penida's most popular dive sites, Crystal Bay, famous for the high recurrence of Mola Mola, and Manta Point, a shoo-in for diving amongst majestic manta rays. These dive sites attract divers from all around the world, so to avoid the mid-morning crowds from the Denpasar-based dive centres, it's much better to stay locally and dive with a Penida-based dive centre. Manta Point is a year-round hotspot for manta rays, with best visibility from May to October. However, frequent surge means visibility typically ranges from 10 to 15 metres, occasionally reaching up to 20. Crystal Bay offers much better viz and is prime for spotting incredible Mola Mola from September to October. They're normally seen at deeper cleaning stations, and due to this depth and the strong currents along the reef's steep slopes, this element of the dive isn't recommended for inexperienced divers, though the reef top is replete with fish and does remain calm. Both dives can get cold once below 10 metres, typically 24 degrees Celsius and sometimes as low as 20. Consider taking at least a 5mm wetsuit or else warm up on the safety stop. Finally, with no limits on the number of boats in either location, you must watch out for surface traffic whilst ascending and always carry a DSMB in case you get separated from your group. Between the two, I'd choose Manta Point for almost guaranteed manta rays. I've dived it several times and you normally encounter at least 4 and sometimes as many as 10 reef mantas, with the occasional oceanic manta dropping by too. And now for the special sauce. We're diving into the Bali area's real magic with 3 standout dive spots. These sites are unforgettable for their diversity and abundant marine life. First up is a site accessible by boat from Penida or Lembongan. Stretching along the latter's north coast, this area boasts one of Indonesia's healthiest reef systems, fueled by rich coastal nutrients. It's perfect for both snorkeling and easy drift dives, and you might not want to surface after exploring its vibrant underwater landscape. The gently sloping reef ranges from 10 to 40 metres deep, covered in stunning hard and soft corals. Normally, you drop in above vibrant staghorn corals stretching as far as the eye can see. And as you drift in a westerly direction, scattered bommies add topographical variety and shelter a diverse array of reef fish. It's a visual feast with turtles, surgeonfish, eagle rays and the occasional shark joining the underwater spectacle as you drift by. If you haven't guessed already, this is Mangrove. Let's take a moment to relax and enjoy some footage from our last dive here. Next, we dive into Toyapakeh, one of Bali's most epic sites, named after the small town and harbour on Penida's northwest coast. Located just a third of a kilometre southwest of the town on the channel edge between Penida and Nusa Penida, Toyapakeh is a diver's paradise. Like Mangrove, Toyapakeh is nutrient rich, bursting with vibrant underwater flora and fauna that will leave you in awe. Strong currents can vary with the tide, so always carry a DSMB and stay alert to flow changes. It's suitable for all levels, though less experienced divers should stick to the shallower coral terraces near the harbour. The dive features stunning hard and soft coral bommies on terrace slopes that steepen from 5 to 35 metres. Excellent visibility ranges from 20 to 30 metres, and fish and macro enthusiasts will delight in encounters with octopi, mantis shrimp, moray eels and the occasional Mola Mola. Before we reach our final destination, stay tuned for the essential travel and accommodation tips that will follow, including costs for this epic diving adventure. Our last location isn't a single dive, but a vast area akin to Mangrove. Penida's north coast features around 5 named dive sites merging into one that stretches along the length of the coastline. This coast dazzles with jaw-dropping lettuce corals, both soft and hard coral bommies, and an expansive reef system teeming with diverse fish species and occasional smaller critters. I've seen thresher sharks here, and recently divers with Scuba Junkie Penida had an incredible encounter with a great white. This coastline is in essence one giant drift dive ranging from 5 to 40 metres deep, showcasing some of the best accessible diving in the whole of Indonesia. I've had some standard dives, yes, but also some unforgettable ones, when everywhere I looked there was something different to be amazed by. Suitable for all levels, though less experienced divers should stick to shallower coral terraces nearer the reef to stay out of the strong tidal flows. Generally, faster currents do enhance the dive experience, adding adrenaline as you zip through the water. However, the strongest of the currents require sharp focus to navigate without colliding into the next bommy. I'll let the video do the explaining. I imagine you're now thinking, this looks incredible, but how much is it going to cost me? So let's break down the travel logistics, accommodation options and dive costs to help you plan an unforgettable Bali dive experience without blowing your budget. Bali is surprisingly well connected. You'll fly into Denpasar Airport with one-stop routes available from London, New York, Dubai and Singapore and other hubs worldwide. It's often cheaper to fly to Jakarta first and take a low-cost domestic flight to Bali with carriers like Lion or Batik Air. Price-wise, we have found return flights from Europe for under $600 and from JFK in the US for as little as $950. I usually check out Skyscanner or Google Flights for the latest deals, bearing in mind that prices vary throughout the week. Once you land, you're just a ride away from paradise. Fast boats to Nusa Penida from Sana Harbour are cheap at $25 return and run frequently. If you're heading up to Tulamben, then pre-book a driver and enjoy the beautiful scenery. It's a 2.5-hour drive, but worth the $25. Accommodation in Bali covers all the bases. There are charming guest houses for as little as $20 or £16 a night. There are clean and friendly mid-range dive resorts for around $50 or £40 a night, and for something very special, boutique villas start at around $100 or £80 a night and often feel like you've got your own private retreat. Now the diving spots. This is where Bali really shines. On my last visit I went to Tulamben for 4 days and then over to Nusa Penida for 8 days. In Tulamben there's an abundance of good quality accommodation, my pick being the Liberty Dive Resort. It's excellent value with massive rooms, a swimming pool, and it's just a short walk to the shore entry for Liberty Wreck. Couldn't be easier. Diving is typically guided in Indonesia, so prices are pitched accordingly. Expect around $35 or £25 per dive. Boat dives locally are around $45 or £35 each. The Liberty Dive Resort includes kit rental and nitrox within the dive price, so if you're bringing your own set of dive gear, you should be able to negotiate a small discount. Top tip, dive packages save money. Book a bundle, 6, 9, 15 dives, and your cost per dive drops dramatically. One of the best deals I've come across is at Scuba Junkie Penida. As the island is more limited in terms of dive and stay options, Scuba Junkie's accommodation was full on my visit this time, but I've stayed previously. Anyway, I still dive for them, staying next door at the MG Villa and Spa. At Scuba Junkie, a 4-day, 3-night package with 9 dives and all your gear, accommodation, breakfast and lunch on the boat, and even a little island tour is around $520 or £400. It's hard to beat the value, especially with a great team running the show. Discounts are also available for repeat customers, dive pros, and if you take your own dive gear. The best time to go is May to October, which gives you calm seas and better viz. September through to early November is Mola Mola season and is invariably quite busy. Rainy season being January to February, prices drop, but conditions can be hit or miss. So what's the bottom line for a 2-week trip? If you're flying from the US, you can expect the total cost, including flights, accommodation, food and diving, to come in around $2,500 to $3,000 depending on your travel style. From Europe, it's even more affordable, with a full trip typically ranging from £1,700 to £2,200. That covers everything from flights to around 9 days of diving, gear rental, meals and a few treats along the way. These prices include diving on most days, so if you only want the occasional dive, you can save significantly on these prices. Without diving, you can easily get by on a budget of around $60 or £50 a day, including self-catered accommodation and food. So that's a wrap on Bali. From the breathtaking drift dives of Nusa Penida to the haunting beauty of the Liberty wreck, this island delivers on every level, whether you're chasing mantas, exploring coral gardens, or just soaking up the island vibes. If you've been inspired to plan your own trip, I'd love to hear where you're heading. Drop your thoughts in the comments below or share your Bali stories with the Dive Odyssey community. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell if you want more travel-rich dive content just like this. There's a whole ocean out there waiting for you, and we've got a lot more coming up. Until next time, dive safe, travel smart, and I'll see you under the waves.